So now we're gonna start sewing the boning to the foundation. We're gonna go over the the bra cup. I said strap, but it's the bra cup. I will make a diagram so you can see how I saw the boning. I don't like to sew the boning just right on the seam on the cups. I'm gonna go around it. I like to sew this on the center front seam and then over the cup on both sides and on the center on the princess line. It all depends what am I gonna use as a fashion fabric, if I'm gonna put beads on it or if I'm just gonna drape or if I'm just going to use the same pattern on the outside, right? So it all depends on that. Sometimes depending on the customer, also depending on the body how it is, I use more or less boning. Of course, the more boning you apply to the foundation, the sturdy it gets. It looks nicer to me, but everybody has a choice. And because mine it's I think I said like 6 inches below the waist, so that's going. I like to do the boning all the way down to the guideline that we have already established prior at the very beginning. So so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna show you Bustier already done, so you can see all the boning that I have in there. This foundation that is already done is not as long as the simple one that I'm doing right now, but you can see all the boning and the bra cups. You can see the bra cups, and then you can see all the boning. I'll show you what I do here. I saw the bra cups by hand, so but you can see all the bonings. It's too much boning, I think, but I get excited with boning. So and again, on this one I have the exposed zipper. And this is what it looks like on the right side. This is the right side. I'll show it to you when it's on the dress form. So this is what it looks like on the dress form. This is the one that I was showing with all the boning. You can really see all the bonings. You can really see the stitching, the 3 stitchings, and then the straight stitching is for the boning, and it goes over the bra cup. Let me show you the back. So the back shows the exposed zipper, and this is the hanging loops that we're gonna sew before we start putting all the boning. We can start with the boning and then we jump into the loops, hanging loops. But that's the boning, red. And I have the fashion fabric that is gonna go over it. This is so this is with the fashion fabric already on top of the foundation. Of course, it's not sewn on top or anything, but I just want for you to see the foundation is underneath, and then this is gonna cover everything. Once I sew all of that on the edge, it's gonna look nicer. I'm still gonna embellish it and seeing if you notice I have that red thread on the seams, so that's going to match that red zipper on the back. So that's how it's gonna look on the back. But like I said, I need to embellish so I can finish this up. So that will be the final bustier. Okay, so the I don't iron my the boning. I just use it how it is because I like the curl, right? Because it's easier, and I always use the curl towards the bottom. That way it will curl this way, because if I use it the other way, then it will start curling towards me, and it will be kind of hard to do. Not impossible, just a little hard to do. So what I like to do is I need to cover the raw edge of the plastic on the boning. So I'm going to push the plastic down a little bit, and then I'm just gonna fold it over, and I'm gonna create like a casting right there. I'm gonna create like a protection. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna come, and I like to do the center first. It really doesn't matter where you start. So I'm going to come to the center front, and I'm gonna leave probably like about an eighth from the top. That way when I fold it under, it will be nice and hidden under the seam allowance. So I'm gonna do like about an eighth on the top. Let me set up the machine. I like to set it up like in 0.8, 3.8 or 3. That'll be, I think it's at 3 millimeters. The length of the stitch. It doesn't have to be that tight, no. Just because it's gonna have a double stitching already. So I just use the regular presser foot. I usually don't use the zipper foot for this, right? So I'm gonna secure the needle first. It up again. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to sew on the very edge, trying to avoid the plastic. But if the needle goes through the plastic, it will not break the needle. The plastic is like thin enough. It's very sturdy. I'm going to get all the way, and I'm gonna follow my my seam. I'm just gonna follow my seam. It's time consuming. Oh, my thread is gonna break. All right, so once I'm coming closer to my guideline, to the stitches that I did previously, once I'm getting closer, probably like about, I don't know, maybe like about 3 inches. I'm gonna needle down. And what I like to do here is like I push a little bit of the casting, a little bit of the fabric up. I'm pushing, move the fabric up so I can create another loop underneath. So I'm gonna come like about 1/8 of an inch up from my stitching. Once I cut the boning, the plastic, I should cut a little more, so I'm just gonna go back and cut more, because it's the plastic, so the plastic is very easy to cut. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the fabric out, and then I'm gonna bend it over so I can sew it underneath. I'm gonna put it back, and I'm gonna sew all the way to the edge. I'm gonna backstitch, and this is what I do. So I put my needle down, and instead of cutting the thread and then go all the way to the beginning, I pull my presser foot up, and I'm gonna turn my foundation needle up. I aim it again, and then I'm gonna take it all the way to the top. Okay, so once I go to the end, just lift the presser foot and then cut the threads. And there's my first one. You can see the stitching. Okay, as you can see, it's already sewn, and that's the right side, and this is the wrong side. So that's the first one. And even if the boning is not iron, it doesn't curl up, or it doesn't curl under, right? Because it's the first one. So I'm not too worried about the boning curling, because once I use the curling iron, I said curling iron, no. Once I use the iron, then it's going to soften up the fabric and the plastic, and then I'm gonna be able to mold it. So now I'm going to apply the second one right on the bust, just around the bust. Remember, I don't like to have it right on the curvature, because sometimes I tried it, but sometimes I even like flatten this section. So let's continue. So we're going to sew the next boning, and at the beginning I already put the plastic under, so I have probably like about 1/2 inch on the top. So I'm just gonna fold it under, right, to create that a little bit on the stopper, so the plastic won't go through, and it will be safer for the for whoever is wearing it, so it won't like go through the fabric and cut the skin. So this is one of the one that gives a little bit more problem, but once it's mastered, it's easier. Alrighty, so I'm gonna come to my princess, to the top. So I'm going to do the top, and I'm gonna aim a little bit like about in the middle of the panel, but I'm going to curve it a little bit. So we can draw wherever we want the boning to be located, or we can just eyeball it, right? So I'm just going to start sewing. I'm not doing too much of a curve, just because if you curve it too much, then the plastic, it will be straight up instead of laying down. Okay, so So I'm gonna go around the mount of the fabric. I'm gonna leave all the space open. So I'm aiming in the middle of the center front to the princess, right? So I'm aiming to go there. So right now I'm in the more on the center. So when I have probably like about 3 inches again, I'm gonna stop and I'm going to pull some of the fabric up. See, I'm creating an over, I'm pushing it over. And then I'm gonna guide myself through the guiding line that I have there. And then I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna pull, and I'm gonna turn under. And then I'm going to continue. And then I'm gonna backstitch. And then I'm gonna do the rest of it off camera.